What's going on, guys? Derek Hallett here, unrealliving.com, here in one of the suburbs of Brisbane in Australia, and I've been here for just over a week now, about 8 or 9 days, and getting adjusted to the new climate. It's a lot drier here. There's not nearly as much humidity, and trying to get my sleep adjusted as well. Anyways, topic for today is when I was in Bangkok, they had a used bookstore there, and I picked up this book. It's called The Story of Stuff, and this book is it's actually based on a movie done by Annie Leonard, who did a movie online, basically just kind of explaining about just the whole game of consumption and about the stuff in our lives. So how, what goes into the process of getting it, where is it made, how is it disposed of, and I just want to talk about this book just a little bit briefly, just because I came from basically the place when I was living in Ontario where I was just a typical consumer. When I moved out west, I downgraded my life, and then when I came out to Southeast Asia, I even further downgraded my life. So anything that I have comes with me on my bike. And it's kind of been a liberating experience, just to basically have as little in your life as possible. And I just wanted to basically just talk about, basically the main kind of ideas of this book is the impact of overconsumption. And it's a huge, huge problem. And we're really starting to see the results of our overconsumption patterns in life. And it's not something that I'm blaming on anyone, because I did it for so many years of my life, but it's how the system is set up. The system is set up in such a way that we want to consume more, we want to buy more, because buying more and doing more and spreading our money around more means more economic growth, which means we have a higher GDP, and that is actually the goal of the government in terms of basically trying to grade our well-being, is basically how much stuff we buy and the GDP. And that's a huge, huge issue, because the GDP doesn't actually represent anything about the true health of a nation, which is it's a very misleading number, because the United States, Canada, Australia, very high GDP, but we have some of the sickest people in the world there. Highest rates of cancer, highest rates of obesity, highest rates of heart disease in those types of climates. So we can't really look at the GDP as something as being an accurate indicator of basically the health and well-being of a nation, of a city, or whatever. And so I do recommend that you guys kind of do get this book. There's a movie online. I haven't actually watched the movie. I just picked up the book. It just kind of, it's something that I try to always push away in my life. I always try to stay away from learning about the truth as much as possible. I like to be ignorant about some things on purpose, but at times there are things that you do want to learn. And I think really learning about where our stuff comes from, how it gets here, basically the human and animal rights that are violated to get our stuff, the environmental impacts. It's something that everyone really needs to start to know if we want to actually change anything, because every day that we're living, we're voting with the dollars that we spend, the dollars that we go out with, and with basically how we live our life is how we are voting for the future, basically. So if we're voting for basically to the point where we're not going to be able to have a sustainable future, we just got to keep going down the same path that we're going down right now. We don't have to change anything, because we're already going down that way. But if we want something where we have more leisure time, we consume less, we're able to enjoy our family and friends more, then maybe we want to start to take a different direction. Because a lot of people in life, growing up in either the Western European countries, North America, Australia, any of the highly developed countries, there's definitely sometimes a bit of a disconnect from those values, especially in North America. As I've noticed traveling, I mean, in Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, very, very family-oriented values. Typically, the family lives together, so all the generations of the family live together, typically in the same household. So it's really interesting to see. But anyways, guys, I hope you do take a look at a book like this. Learn about planned obsolescence. Most of all, think about how you can start downgrading your life. Do you really need to buy that new pair of shoes, or that new outfit, or that new car? Or can you do something that, say, maybe you can buy a bike, or maybe you can buy secondhand clothes? I mean, there's a good amount of tips in this book, how you can actually make changes in your life, in terms of, buying secondhand, or, just trying to not purchase, like PVC, polyvinyl chloride, stuff like that. Little tips. Great book by Annie Leonard, and I hope you guys pick it up. Try to pick it up secondhand, because it was kind of funny when I first started reading the book, and she was talking about how basically destructive the paper industry is to our forests and stuff like that, which we all typically know. But I kind of found it ironic that this book is printed on paper. But she wasn't doing that on purpose. There's such a demand for a book that's why she actually wrote the book. But do check out the movie. I don't have a link for it, but I'll find a link and I'll put it down below. So check it out. Educate yourself as much as you can. And I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my day. Maybe go grab some food shopping. Hope you guys are enjoying your day. If you like my videos, if you want to keep following my journey, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Leave your comments and questions below, if you like Annie or if you don't. I'd love to hear your opinions on the subject. Like this video if you want to see more like them, and I will surely do that for you. Anyways, peace out, guys. Have a good day.